All right, let's just jump right in. We're going to talk about that feeling. You know the one? That twitch, that subconscious reflex where you just check your phone. And more importantly, we are going to walk through, step by step, how to build a system to smash that automation and finally get your focus back.
I mean, who hasn't had this happen, right? 1 minute, you're deep in a task, and the next, bam, the phone is in your hand and you have zero memory of deciding to pick it up. This isn't a personal failure or a lack of willpower. It's a habit that's been wired into us, and we're about to unwire it.
And this number, this is a big reason why. 2,617. That's the average number of times we touch our phones every single day. But here's the kicker. Those aren't 2,617 conscious decisions. That's your brain running on pure autopilot.
And that autopilot has a massive cost, 23. That's how many minutes it takes for your brain to get fully back into a state of deep, focused work after just one of those little interruptions. Think about that for a second. A 2-second glance at a notification just nuked almost half an hour of your productivity. It's absolutely staggering.
So, let's be clear about the problem. Letting our phones run on autopilot like this doesn't just distract us, it shatters our attention into these tiny, useless little pieces. The result? A productivity drop of up to 40%. You're still putting in the hours at your desk, but your actual output is just tanking. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Let's get this straight. This isn't about you being weak or undisciplined. It's about your brain being trained over and over, thousands of times, to connect any tiny feeling of boredom or frustration with reaching for your phone. It's become a neurological script that runs automatically. So, if we want to fix this, we have to look under the hood at the science. We need to understand what's really going on in our brains. Because this isn't just some bad habit we picked up. It was engineered. Telling yourself to just stop is pointless. It's like trying to tell yourself to just stop being hungry. The mechanism is way, way deeper than that.
And that mechanism has a name. It's called the habit loop. The best way to think of it is like invisible software that's always running in the background of your brain. It's executing commands without you even being aware of it. It's super efficient, incredibly powerful, and in this case, a huge problem.
So how does this little program run? Well, it's a deceptively simple 3-step process. First, you get a trigger, maybe a moment of boredom or you hit a tough part of a project. Second, the automatic action. Boom, the phone is in your hand, you're scrolling. And third, the reward. You get a tiny little hit of dopamine that feels good and tells your brain, hey, remember this. Next time we feel that trigger, let's do this again. And this is maybe the most important thing to get. You are not in a fair fight. It's not you against your own willpower. It's you against teams of the world's smartest engineers and billion-dollar algorithms designed for one thing, to capture your attention. Trying to win with willpower alone is like bringing a butter knife to a gunfight. It's just not going to work. You need a better system. Okay, so enough about the problem. How do we actually fight back? Well, let's start with the first part of the solution, the friction framework. The goal here is simple. Stop relying on willpower and instead just change your environment to make it physically harder, maybe even impossible, to check your phone on autopilot. This slide shows it perfectly. Low friction is that shiny little Instagram icon just sitting there on your home screen. One easy tap away. Your autopilot brain loves that. High friction, on the other hand, is deleting the app. Now you have to open a browser, type the website, log in, and by the time you've done all that, your conscious brain has woken up and is asking, wait, do I really even want to be doing this right now? So here's your toolkit, full of simple but super effective ideas. The most powerful one? Seriously, just put your phone in a completely different room, not in a drawer, in another room. That physical distance is the ultimate friction. But yeah, deleting those addictive apps, using time lockers, even just flipping on airplane mode, these are all ways to build a wall between that initial impulse and the action. And if you think these little things don't matter, get this. Research shows that adding as little as a 20-second delay, just 20 seconds, to an action can cut how often you do it in half. You see? You're not fighting the urge anymore. You're just making it too inconvenient for your autopilot brain to follow through. It's basically physics, not psychology.
So adding friction is part one. That's our defense. Now for part two, the offense. We have to actively go in and rewire the reward system itself. We need to make checking the phone a lot less exciting for your brain.
And here is one of the easiest, most powerful brain hacks you can possibly do. Our brains are like toddlers. They're instinctively drawn to bright, shiny colors.
Those red notification badges, the vibrant photos, they all scream reward. But when you switch your phone to grayscale, you instantly make it look dull and uninteresting to your brain's reward center.
Think about it. The information is all still there, but without the color, the dopamine bait is just gone. Your phone immediately turns from a fun toy back into a boring tool, and the results are wild. People who do this cut their screen time by an average of 38 minutes a day without even trying.
And we can go even deeper. You can start setting new rules for your brain. For instance, no phone for the first hour of the day stops it from hijacking your morning. Scheduling specific phone check-ins kills that nagging fear of missing out. And things like snapping a rubber band or just making a tally mark every time you check, those are just simple tricks to force your conscious brain to pay attention to an unconscious habit.
And this is a huge piece of the puzzle. You can't just delete a habit. You have to replace it with something else. This slide lays it out perfectly. The trigger stays the same. You feel bored. But instead of the old habit of grabbing your phone, you consciously choose a new one, like taking 3 deep breaths. You are literally overwriting the old destructive code in your brain with a new, better program.
Okay, so you've added friction and you've started to rewire your brain's reward system. So what happens now? What does this journey actually look and feel like? Let's walk through the path to finally getting your focus back under your own control.
Now, I'm going to be real with you. The first few days are probably going to suck. You're going to feel anxious. You might even get those phantom vibrations in your pocket where you'd think your phone is buzzing. That's totally normal. It's literally withdrawal. But if you stick with it, something amazing starts to happen. By week 2, you'll go hours without even thinking about your phone. And by the end of the month, that's when the magic happens. Checking your phone becomes a conscious choice again, not an unconscious compulsion.
And here is the ultimate prize for all that effort. A potential 40% increase in your actual output. And listen, that's not from working more hours. It comes from having long stretches of deep, unbroken focus. You're not working harder, you are working worlds smarter.
And this really boils it all down to the fundamental transformation. Before, your phone owned you. Your attention was at the mercy of its algorithms and dinks. After you implement this system, you own your phone. You are back in the driver's seat, deciding when and why you engage.
This says it all, really. The entire goal is just to break that automatic link in your brain. The second you reclaim that tiny little space for conscious choice, your natural ability to focus just comes roaring back.
So that's the system. And look, this is not about being anti-technology. It's about putting technology back in its proper place as an incredible tool that serves you. So the only question left is, are you ready to use your phone like a tool again?